Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an episode of Random Rant. I don't really know what I can call this, but this is more so like a warning to anyone and whatnot to be careful when you see like messages of scams. So you see the title of the video. Like, I literally was scammed pretty much. Well, they tried to, at least. They tried to scam me by threatening my life. Now, folks, let me say something right now. Fear makes you do some really stupid things. So when I'm going to share this story and whatnot, I need you to understand that your biggest asset in this situation is not showing fear and not like freaking out immediately. So let me just share this little story. I'm not going to share any of like the text information because I'm actually going to be turning that into the FBI soon. So you are actually going. So this guy's 9 out of 10 getting swatted.
FBI, open up!
So honestly, let me just start from the beginning. So like I think it was last Wednesday or maybe last Tuesday, last week, right? I got a text from someone saying hello, and I said hello to this. Who's this? And it was just this long messages, pretty much saying, "Oh, I'm a hitman who's paid $50,000 to kill you and whatnot." But today I'm feeling generous, and so I'll spare you if you give me 8,000. And so I called his bluff, and then he shows me like a picture of myself, and he also shows me where I live, trying to say, "Oh, you think this is a joke?" And I still call his bluff at the end of the day because, folks, it's very easy for you to freak out in that instance and say, "Oh my goodness, this is a real guy." But keep in mind that the internet is set up in a way right now to where you don't usually have a choice in like how your data gets shared around. So when you see instances where someone might have access to your data, keep in mind that it's not really that hard to get a hold of your data these days, which is pretty scary. And it's more so the fault of the government as well as sites not really being regulated in the sense that when they get your data and whatnot, when you need to use them, they are not under any obligation to keep that on record and keep that safe and documented. They can sell that to whomever they want to, and they will do that because they are a company, and the company is about making money, regardless of if that puts you in harm's way. The main concept that they will try and say is, "Oh, you don't have to use a site," which is utter rubbish, because sometimes you need to use a site in order to complete a task. But moving on to what I'm trying to say, the biggest key in this instance is to not be afraid. And so, I pretty much let this idiot dig his own grave, because apparently he must not know that, you can track numbers and whatnot. And so I talked to him for a bit, and I just took screenshots of, like, what he was sending me. I took screenshots of, like, the threats that he was saying. And the biggest, again, asset in this is not showing that you're afraid and not showing what you're doing. So what he tries to say is, "Oh, don't call the cops, because if you do, that's going to make me have to kill you immediately or something." Now, the funny thing is, this guy is texting this publicly when you can go to like the store and see that this is happening, because keep in mind that your texts are monitored and whatnot, and again, police can use your texts as evidence if they so need to do, and they will in fact do that occasionally. So this guy was digging his own grave, and so eventually he starts calling me, and he called me like several times, I think like 9 times or something. And after I originally just straight up blocked him, he calls from a different number to which was also blocked. But now I need to, call the FBI. And so when I do call the FBI, I'm going to present them with all this evidence, and this guy is 9 times out of 10 going to be getting swatted soon enough.
FBI, open up!
You better believe it, folks, because unfortunately for them, they really don't seem to understand that, like when someone isn't going to be afraid of these people, when someone actually realizes that these people just are retarded and they don't actually know anything about how to actually do something successfully, how to scam properly, it's over for them. And folks, the biggest asset in this situation, like I keep saying, is don't be afraid. If anyone comes to you and like, as I don't know, like, please let me know in the comments, like, threatening you about like your life or something like that, and they're saying, "Oh, I paid $50, $50K to off you" or something. Let's also keep in a few instances. For instance, like, are you even anyone of real status? I don't mean that to roast you, but like, for example, I live in Liberty freaking City. I live in one of the most infamous cities in America. You honestly think some random 22-year-old kid, pretty much, in a freaking hood slum is going to be worth 50,000 in some assassination? Also, if you're some hit assassin, if you're some like pro assassin, right? Why would you give up $50,000 for $8,000? You see, there are obviously just a lot of red flags going on here as a whole. And whereas some people are probably like, "Why didn't you just block him?" Well, again, I wanted to get this guy in trouble. I wanted him to dig his own grave. And so as he continued to harass me, as he continued to show personal information, that's also a felony, considering that you are having private information and you are making threats with it. So you better believe that this guy has literally just dug his own grave, and I am soon enough going to be calling the FBI to report this case. So again, I just want to kind of conclude this video by telling you folks, stay safe and understand that your data is out there, and unfortunately we are in a day and age where your data is not secure, and people like to say, oh, use NordVPN or like use something like that. That really doesn't matter in certain instances. It's like dependent more so like on that helps protect you like from cookies in a lot of situations and whatnot. But as for like your profile pictures, as for your actual addresses and whatnot, when you need to use certain sites, you have to share that information, and thus it's still subject to get out there and to fall into the wrong hands. But again, I keep saying this repetition. Do not show fear. Do not freak out when someone has this kind of information. Let them dig their own graves. Report this to the police, and trust they will soon enough be dealing with some pretty heavy stuff, because they're not expecting someone to actually not panic in this situation. So I just want to tell you guys, like, that's it. I just wanted to share that with you because you need to stay safe out there. And as always, rate the video what you think it deserves. Tell me what you want to see in the future in comments below. Please do let me know if you have any kind of similar situations. Let me know in the comments, because we need to share this. We need to also kind of spread awareness to encourage everyone to stay safe, in the sense that not freaking out is going to be your biggest advantage. So don't freak out, and let me know in the comments so that we can I guess, share this around and try and get some attention to this issue. I would like to thank you all for watching. God bless, and I will see you next time.